Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. Today, we're diving into a story that could, and I mean really could, fundamentally reshape the entire air war over Eastern Europe.
So, take a look at this. This is the Saab Gripen, and the news that's breaking right now is pretty staggering. We're talking about a potential deal for Ukraine to get up to 150 of these incredible fighters. Now, let's be clear, that is not just a handful of jets. That's enough to build an entire air force from the ground up, an air force that seems almost tailor-made for the challenges Ukraine is facing right this very minute.
Okay, so that immediately begs the question, right? You're probably thinking, wait a minute, what about the F-16s? Aren't those already on the way? So why all this buzz around this specific Swedish jet? Well, the answer, as we're about to unpack, is that the Gripen isn't just another fighter jet. It might just be the perfect tool for this exact war.
All right, so to really get why the Gripen is such a big deal, we need to step back for a second. We got to understand the brutal day-to-day reality for Ukrainian pilot. See, for them, the fight isn't just up in the sky. It's a constant battle for survival, right down on the ground.
You know, the biggest threat to a Ukrainian jet, it's not always another fighter hunting it in the clouds. Nope. It's a cruise missile screaming in at 3 a.m., hitting its airbase before it can even spool up its engines. These bases are fixed targets. They're vulnerable, and Russia knows it, hitting them again and again.
So how do you fight that?
Well, Ukraine has gotten incredibly good at a survival strategy they call dispersed basing. Think about it. Pilots never land at the same airfield they took off from. They are constantly moving, constantly rotating between different bases. They've even gotten good at using public highways as makeshift runways. The whole strategy boils down to one simple genius rule: never ever be where the enemy thinks you are.
And here's where it all clicks into place. You see, you can try to adapt other jets for this kind of hit-and-run warfare. But the Gripen? It's the only Western fighter that was designed from day one, from the ground up, for this exact scenario.
And wow, does this show you the difference? A typical fighter? It needs a long, perfect, beautifully paved runway. The Gripen? Give it about 800 meters of a normal road. That's it. This wasn't some feature they added on later. No way. This is baked into its DNA, straight from Sweden's Cold War playbook of needing to fight a massive invasion from literally anywhere.
So, you see, the Gripen doesn't make Ukraine throw out its playbook, it supercharges it. The ability to drop onto a hidden stretch of highway, get gas, get new missiles, and take off again, that just makes it an incredibly hard target to find, let alone hit. It's a massive survivability boost.
Okay, so it can survive on the ground? That's huge. But what about getting back into the fight? Because survival is one thing, but speed and efficiency? Well, that's where the Gripen really starts to pull away from the pack.
Just think about this for a second. Less than 15 minutes. That's it. In the time it takes to grab a coffee, a Gripen can land, refuel, and be rearmed for an air-to-air mission. That kind of speed, that rapid turnaround, is absolutely critical. It lets a smaller air force punch way above its weight, generating sortie after sortie.
And that efficiency thing? It runs deep. I love this analogy. People call it the IKEA of fighter jets, and for good reason. It's designed to be simple to maintain. You don't need a huge army of technicians, just a small team, maybe 6 people, with only one highly trained expert can get this thing serviced and flying again right there on the side of the road with just a couple of vehicles. It's brilliant.
And of course, all that efficiency, it translates directly into cost. We're looking at an estimated $6,000 to $7,000 per flight hour for the Gripen. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a ton of money, but trust me, in the world of high-performance fighter jets, that is an absolute bargain.
Just look at the comparison. The F-16 costs almost twice as much to fly per hour. For a country like Ukraine, on a wartime budget, that difference is everything. It's not just about saving money. It's about what that money buys you. More training hours for your pilots, more jets in the air when it counts, and just way more flexibility to get the job done.
All right, so the Gripen is tough, it's fast, and it's cheap to run. But its biggest advantages might be the ones you can't even see. In modern air combat, the real fight is often in the invisible world of sensors and signals. So let's talk about how the Gripen is built to be a master of this electronic war.
The heart of it is one of the most advanced, fully integrated electronic warfare or EW suites out there. And this isn't just about jamming a missile lock at the last second. No, this is an offensive weapon. It wraps the jet in this 360-degree digital bubble, basically letting it fly like a ghost through even the most dangerous airspace.
So how does it do it? Well, it's a 3-pronged attack, really. First, it actively hides itself from enemy radar, just vanishes from their screens. Second, it messes with them, creating confusion about where it actually is. And third, it goes on the offensive, generating a whole bunch of false targets to make enemy missiles chase shadows. It's genius.
And here's the really slick part. The Gripen can also play the role of a silent hunter. It has this incredible infrared sensor called the Skyward G. It can spot the heat from an enemy jet's engines from a long way off. And yeah, that even includes stealth fighters. And it does all this without ever turning on its own radar. So it can find you, track you, and target you, all while being completely invisible electronically.
So you've got this survivable, efficient ghost of a jet. That's amazing. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to take out the bad guys. You need teeth. And that brings us to the Gripen's main weapon, a missile that truly changes the entire game.
Meet the Meteor. This is, without a doubt, one of the most advanced air-to-air missiles on the planet. And here's why. Most missiles, they're like a firework. They burn all their fuel in a few seconds and then just coast. The Meteor, it has a ramjet. That means it breathes air, like a jet engine, allowing it to keep its motor running and accelerate all the way to the target. It just doesn't run out of gas.
And that sustained power creates something terrifying called a no-escape zone, or NEZ. That's exactly what it sounds like, a huge bubble in the sky where if you're the target, you simply cannot outrun or outturn the missile. And the Meteor's no-escape zone, it's reportedly 3 times bigger than its competitors. That means Gripen pilots can shoot from further away, from a safer distance, and the enemy pilot has pretty much zero chance of getting away.
And let's not be subtle about what this thing was built for. The former head of the Swedish Air Force, Mats Helgesson, he put it about as bluntly as you can. He said the Gripen was, and I quote, designed to kill Sukhois. It was literally created to go head-to-head with Russia's best fighters and win.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces on the table. You've got the incredible survivability, the insane efficiency, the dominance in the invisible war, and just the raw lethality. And a very, very clear picture starts to form.
You can really boil down the Gripen's value to Ukraine into 4 key pillars. First, high survivability, because it can operate from anywhere. Second, low cost, meaning more planes in the air more often. Third, an information advantage, thanks to its amazing sensors and EW. And fourth, enhanced lethality, with that Meteor missile giving it a knockout punch.
And you know what? Every single one of those pillars directly answers a problem Ukraine's Air Force is facing right now. This isn't just about getting a good fighter. It really seems to be about getting the right fighter for this war at this time. Which leaves us all with one big question, doesn't it? Could this Swedish Gripen really be the thing that rewrites the rules of the game in the skies over Ukraine?
Well, that's all the time we have for this one. Thank you so much for joining us. We really want to know what you think. Is the Gripen the answer? Let us know down in the comments. And hey, if you found this explainer valuable, you know what to do. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. It really helps us out. You can also join us over on our social media channels. All the links for that are in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.